Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. Yes, all the things. Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I don't know about y'all, but I always want to dance when I hear that. I just get so tickled about our little intro. Today, we're talking about a story that has been making the rounds on social media, and for a really good reason. So Nakia Hamilton, a Burger King employee, worked a 12-hour shift alone. No backup, no team, just her. And it's not about one bad day at work. It's about the reality of being a low-wage worker in America. Now, many people are working long hours, holding down multiple roles, and still cannot get ahead financially. So the question is, what does this say about our economy, our labor protections, and how we treat the people who keeps things running? Which y'all seems to be, it always falls upon us, because every time we hear stories, it is us. It is us that we see. I have a beautiful royal court today. We have Marlo Layson, TV film producer, Yolanda Spivey, insurance brokers to the stars, and Tiara Williams, producer and actress, and all the things. She keeps us running like a well-oiled machine. Ladies, when I heard about this, I was like, what in the holy Batman? Wonder Woman, because y'all do know there was a black Wonder Woman, right? There was a black character. All I thought it was her behind the scenes, like with that, because let's think about it. She's taking your order. She's cooking your order. She's delivering the order. She's keeping the fries hot, keeping the machine. She's keeping the ice cream cold. She's taking your money. I mean, all the things, all the things. So when I first saw this, I was absolutely flabbergasted that she held that down for 12 hours. So I would like to know your initial reactions to when you heard about her handling this. And I'm going to start with you, Marlo.
Corporate greed, that's it, and that's all.
I'm so with you. I'm so with you. What about you, Yolanda?
First thing I thought about is us Black women as always being used as mules. We are the mules of the world.
And they expect that of us because, we always hear strong Black women. Well,
Exactly.
Listen, sometimes we get tired. What about you, Tiara?
I just thought that, we a little bit like Yolanda, here we come saving the day. And there's no reason. I was like, why sis didn't call corporate and just say, it probably didn't even dawn on her to call corporate and be like, yo, there's nobody in here. But she was just like, I got it.
Yeah.
It's like my 3 kids at home. I got it. I could do it.
Exactly.
And so it made me proud it made me proud, but it also made me sad to, like, as a Black woman, because that is literally what we have to endure, and we don't even see it sometimes.
No, we don't, because we're just pushing through at the time, knowing that we got to get something done. But it also reminds me, ladies, remember that chef who said, y'all, I'm tired. I need to take a day off. And everybody's, I'm coming to see you on your day, girl. I'm coming from out of town to go to your restaurant and you taking a day off. She literally told people, I'm tired, went home, laid down, and didn't wake up. Okay. So there is a very delicate balance. And a lot of times we are told that we are so strong and we can handle anything, that sometimes we forget that we are human. Sometimes I truly believe that. But let's check out this video, because I want to watch this and then we'll get back into this conversation. But listen, those who are watching, It's Friday. We'd love to hear you talk to us because we are talking with you about this conversation. Put your thoughts into the chat so that we can also talk with you. So let's check out this video.
A single mom was filmed working 12-hour shift completely alone at a Burger King and gained viral attention.
I just need y'all to know that at this Burger King right now in Columbia, off interstate, whatever, we got one beautiful person working here all by herself. She doing everything. She doing the fries, she doing the burger, she doing the chicken sandwiches, she doing everything by herself. Cause nobody want to work no more, y'all. Nobody want to work no more. And she's in here by herself. Y'all see this right here? And I'm not lying. There's nobody in the back.
Nikia Hamilton was juggling multiple roles: cooking, cleaning, and managing the drive-thru, all without any support.
She doing this by herself. I need y'all to show her some love, okay? For real, because she holding it down. Columbia, South Carolina, okay? Y'all need to get her some help up in here because she busted her behind. She's doing everything she needs to do to make sure everybody is okay up in here. And it's only one person. Look, nobody. Because nobody want to work no more. And it is at nighttime. It is.
Now, I love how the community at least shouted her out and also was being patient. They saw that this lady was doing everything on her own, and they at least was shouting her out. But Tiara, do you think that it should even be legal for just one person to be working at a restaurant like that alone?
Absolutely not. I'm pretty sure this is not legal. It can't be. Like when you go through the SOPs and all of the things, this can't be legal. This can't be right. But here we are. No, that's not legal. It can't be.
That's the first thing I thought. And I wonder, since it's got so much attention, how actually corporate Burger King is thinking about this. But, Marlo, you tapped into something that I thought of as well, corporate greed. Now, do you think that companies like Burger King care about the workers on the ground?
I mean, this is probably a Burger King franchise, right? So we're looking at Burger King corporate, and there's probably a private owner who owns a bunch of ill-equipped Burger Kings, right? And they're just turning a profit. So when I say corporate greed, I'm not just talking about Burger King corporate. I'm talking about the franchisees, right? Because it is their responsibility to make sure that the store is properly managed, properly staffed. They have the equipment and the resources that they're supposed to have to be able to run the restaurant efficiently. So I think that while it is, Burger King as a corporation should be embarrassed that this happened under their flagship, right? But I believe that it is indicative of a lot of people who just get into business because they have the money for the startup and they have no intention of running ethical businesses. And while it should be illegal to do this, I'm sure that the labor laws of South Carolina don't say anything about how many people should be in a restaurant, how many people should be on a shift. I'm sure that there's nothing in there because this is America. And in America, the corporation always wins. The business interest always wins over the individual. So that's where we at.
I think they broke OSHA laws. So OSHA is an organization that manages things like this. How many people should be on a shift? When somebody should have, how many hours a person should work on a shift? When somebody should take a break? And this video just showed that particular Burger King broke a bunch of OSHA laws. And trust me, believe me, that particular Burger King is being fined right now. I'm pretty sure they are. There's no way that they're not.
Yeah,
she
because
couldn't take a break.
She
couldn't take a break.
And usually there's supposed to be 3 people on a shift, okay? At least 3 people on any type of shift in a restaurant. And since she was the only one, they broke all types of laws. This woman is not taking a break. Her sanity. Oh my goodness. I feel so sorry for her. You know what I'm saying?
And not to mention the danger. I mean, it's already dangerous, for 3 or 4 people to be there, but she's there by herself, running everything. While she's back cooking, who's watching the registers, things like that. People can also see a weakness in that and take advantage of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just an all around dangerous thing. Now, listen, I love that this woman stepped up to do what she felt was right, but I also feel like she didn't have to do that. But she did come out and say why she did, and I'm sure we're going to watch that video. I'm going to hit a couple of comments from our family out here. Black Lexicon said she deserves a bonus. Yes, she does. And a promotion. Yes, she does. She should be owning one of them because she obviously know how to run it, right? Incock says when one has kids, one will put up with a lot to get by. I think we're going to actually hit on that topic, Incog, as well. Booker says, great day. Hello, Blackout Friday folk. Blackout Friday folk. We ain't putting no money nowhere today where it don't belong, right? Now, Black Lexicon says another example of a woman's super genes. Now, listen, while that sounds wonderful, while I love wearing my Black superhero t-shirt that I have made, I also am tired when I have to do that. When I have to uplift everything, when I have to uphold everything, where is the time for rest? Because you see, if you're tapping into your mental and you can't breathe, you can't help anybody else. So, Tiara, I'm going to ask you, have you ever felt like you were just holding it down all by yourself, and how that made you feel? Can't hear you.
I was just about to say, for sure. I mean, as a woman who is a single woman, who I'm not a single mother, but I am a single woman. Sometimes because I am not actively with her father, there are things that I just gotta like take while I'm also running a business, while I'm also building different things and going after certain dreams and all of that. And so while you're doing that, that tends to get heavy. It be a small load here, but then you like, oh, but I also want to do this, and then I got to do that, and then that's how you kind of accumulate those bags, and it just gets heavy because you're really like you're holding it down for everybody.
Yeah. And even in those cases, now y'all could even shake your head if you agree with this or don't agree with this. Even in those instances when we're in that situation, we can't even rest at night because your mind will not rest when you are running so hard. So, it's definitely a mental toll on us. But we're going to get back into this because there's so much more to dig into. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Woo! It's a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with flynubianmoney.com.
So no to grow. I say that all the time. Y'all, sometimes I just be around the house just singing silly little diddles. I'll be saying things like that from the show all the time. Listen, because I want you to remember it. And you should be singing that little ditty too, because we have a lot of resources for you. We all about uplifting you and helping you get your financial house in order. So go to flynubianmoney.com, get all those free resources, and start getting yourself together. Y'all, I hate to say it, but it's August and Christmas is right around the corner. You better get it together. All right, I want to dig back into this because she did respond. Nakia did respond to why she did this. And I want to check this video out and get back into this conversation.
Hey, y'all. This is a girl from Burger King that was in here by herself. I just want to get some things straight. You're right. People don't want to work. And we don't pay minimum wage. We pay, starting our crew, $11. Yeah, that's not enough to pay nothing, but it's a job. It's something. You get paid every week. Don't find too many jobs to pay every week. Managers start off 14 or better. But let's get this straight. People do not want to work. They come in, they do the interview, they get the job. They don't like it. You already knew what the pay that you agreed on before you started. So why you quit after, oh, that ain't enough money? You already knew what you was going to be making. So why you acting surprised now? But like I said, people don't want to come to work. People don't want to work. People call out, don't come, no call, no shows. And my higher ups don't want to hire extra people at night because they don't want to pay extra money. So instead of coming at me, go after them. Tell them to hire more people. Tell them to get us more pay. They'll hire workers. You ain't got work. You ain't got to wait 20, 30 minutes for no food. But tonight, again, I got to be here by myself. Because after my cook person leave at 7, which I don't know why, he should be staying till 11. But, you know, he came in at 11. He don't want to do 12 hours. So I'm in the kitchen by myself. So, again, I'll shut down the drive-thru. But if you do come through, come support. Come get a $5 trio. I mean, $5 duo. Get a $3 trio. A $7 trio. Hey. Well, if you do, please have patience. Because I am by myself. And
now, here's a couple of things that she did. We didn't get to hear her say is the fact that she says she has 3 children at home that she is trying to provide for. This is not her only job, y'all. She works 2 jobs, 2. And she also stated that she felt like she's getting paid pretty fairly at Burger King. She said she makes more than minimum wage there. So there are a lot of other things behind that, but she did bring out the fact that, you know, they should be hiring people, but people don't want to say. Now, Marlo, do you think that that is a more of a common issue now than it used to be even 5 years ago? Because she said they hire people, but they don't show up.
Work ethic, honey, as a person that hires people, it is, I don't know what happened after the pandemic. So that part is absolutely true. People do not want to work. People want to set the terms of work. Like, I've been working since I was 16. And the only time I set the terms is in my own personal endeavor. Everything else, like whatever they set up, that's the work that gets done, right? I think it just is where we are in society right now. People don't want to work. Corporations don't want to hire. People are trying to automate whatever they can. In terms of corporations, you spend the money for automation and then it pays for itself over time. And what's really lost is the customer, right? The customer experience is, aside from her working those hours, if you're a Burger King customer, I wouldn't have even gone back. I gotta stand there and wait 30 minutes for a pre-cooked Whopper. Ain't no way, big dog. I'm not about to do it. So I just think we are in a very interesting time in this country. I don't have experiences, you know, in other countries. I always have good experiences when I travel abroad, but that's because I'm a visitor. But in this country, we are in an interesting time where, you know, employee regulations and employer regulations are constantly being watered down, and companies are constantly fighting against regulation. And so I hope that OSHA investigated them, but it don't sound like an OSHA investigation happened there. And the Burger King people could pay that fine and still keep doing the bad practices, because that's what corporations do.
I can't believe.
They are good at getting around what they need to get around. Let's not forget, guys, things like Starbucks. Since we talk about Blackout Friday, I don't go to Starbucks. I haven't eaten at a fast food restaurant like that in over 5 years. I've not been to McDonald's. I've not been to Burger King. I've not been Subway, none of those. When I started watching what I eat, I just stopped going. But let's not forget what Starbucks is doing. They have a CEO that lives in California that flies a private plane 3 times a week to Seattle, yet they're laying off people and giving him the bonuses. So what does this say about the worker bees, Yolanda? I mean, you got these CEOs getting all these bonuses, but yet you have people like Nakia who is busting her butt, putting herself at risk mentally and physically, who are holding it down.
It's disgusting. Okay. This whole system is disgusting. And I just want to piggyback off of Marlo's point about what happened after the pandemic. What happened after the pandemic was people woke the fuck up. Okay. They saw that they can make money in other ways and they do not have to sit in somebody's office and make money for them. Also, they realized their value too. They saw that the money that they were making wasn't enough, it wasn't sufficient enough to support them, especially after the government started shelling out some money for people. They're like, wait a minute, I can kind of make some things on my own. And so, yes, they're not going to return back to work for no measly $14 an hour. I'm not trying to diss anybody out there that makes $14 an hour, but come on, you know that it's not enough to pay any of your bills. And further, with the price of rent and everything going up, these people know that they're not paying enough. They're not going to go through that. And I love the Gen Zs. People, we give them a hard time, but these little mofos, they know their self-respect. They have self-respect. They know that you're not going to take advantage of them, and they are not allowing these corporations to take advantage of them. That's why they're not working in their restaurants. Okay. Most of the people now that we see working in restaurants are older adults, like, over the age of 25 and 30, because they still have that mindset. It's a mindset. They still have that old school mindset that you work hard and you will reap the rewards. Let me tell you something. That little lady in there doing all that stuff, Burger King is not going to give her a damn dime. Okay. They may give her a lifetime supply of burgers, maybe, but they're not going to give her any money. And she's doing all of this just to have some type of badge on her chest, like, yeah, I did it. But my dear, where's the money from it? Where is your money? Where's your self-respect, your self-love, everything that else that goes with it? Because if that woman really truly loved herself, she would close the doors at 7 o'clock when her fry guy leaves. Okay. She will close the door to that restaurant and close it down. She will not put herself through that. I don't care if it's for money. She would not do that. That's any self-respecting person would do that. That's it. Yeah.
I don't know. It just, I agree with that, but I see such a horrible balance because when it comes to making sure that your kids are fed
So
and something like this, where is the balance? Tiara, what are your thoughts on this?
She got another job.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like a little bit of a delay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So when I watched the video, basically I heard her still saying like, I still got to work. I still got to go to work. It's a job, right? I understand that this is a young lady that maybe doesn't have she has hella skills because she can run a Burger King, but they don't translate. Maybe she's been there for a long time. Maybe she didn't go to college. Maybe she didn't, she doesn't have a trade. Like maybe she started here and this is what she feels like she can receive. There's something about skills that align with, I think, pay, right? The more you know, the more you grow, the more you can potentially earn, the more you have to offer. Now, I know that she can take these skills and translate them into something else, but it's just a matter, you got to know how to do that. You have to know how to make yourself, you just got to know how to do it. And I'm not sure, a lot of people, especially what I see in our community, it's like they know how to go and get jobs. They know how to go and work for others. They know how to do that. But there's a small percentage of people that actually, have the wherewithal to like actually go and make money themselves, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll just say that. And then actually I wanted to just mention that somebody launched a GoFundMe for her. And right at this moment it's up to $570. And so it did receive, even though she is still going to work, like, right? So she got a GoFundMe. She's received money to help with her 3 children, and she still gets up and go to work. So I really respect this Black woman. I really do. Like, I respect who she is. Like, that just tells me everything I need to know about her integrity, what she stands for. She didn't get $50,000 and go, I'm about to go. Like, y'all figure it out, right? She just still like, I'm gonna be here all day by myself, and I'm not
But
gonna
is she
stop doing
loving
it.
herself enough? That
Huh?
doesn't sound like self-love to me.
It
I
sounds
think
like
that
a
there's
woman that
also
just
something
wants
to be. I think
it's a
there's also
job.
something to be said about rural America, right? She lives in South Carolina. It sounds like a very
Right.
small town. I
Okay.
think that we looking at it from a perspective of people, city slickers, right?
Right.
People that have more options. I think that there is a misunderstanding. I live in the biggest city in a very rural area of Louisiana. It's the biggest city between here and Dallas, Texas. And this lady's story is very familiar, I'm sure, to a lot of people here. There are not a lot of job options if you don't have training, if you don't understand how skills translate, right? If you don't understand how to transfer the skill set you have into something else, if you haven't tapped into a special skill or talent that you have where you can sell a product or service to people, it's a little bit harder to look at yourself. So I understand what you're saying, Yolanda, but I'm not going to disparage her self-worth, because I understand in rural areas, there are not a lot of opportunities. There may be a Burger King, there may be a Walmart, and a couple of gas stations where she lives. That is the reality in rural parts of the country. And so I think that also is factoring into what her mindset is, because rural people, for the most part, aren't thinking about how I'm gonna get the bag, chase the bag. Life is much slower. And so I think that part is kind of missing in all of this, is the conversation about rural areas versus urban areas, and what your life experience is and what your expectations are for yourself, right? Maybe for her, that's enough for where she is living. And I never want to impose how I feel, right? I think a lot of times we impose our overhead and our expectations onto other people. And I think that she is doing what the vast majority of Americans are doing: getting up every day, hard work, taking care of their kids, and being responsible citizens. So I don't want to disparage her, because I definitely know that living in rural parts of the world, specifically this part of the world, is not a whole lot of opportunities if you have not tapped into yourself. Now, maybe she could take that $48,000 and invest it. Maybe that $48,000 can help her mind open and she could be more creative. But if that's what's around you, it's really hard to see anything else.
That's right.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to disparage her. I really am not. And thank you for giving me that Negro wake up call, because I have to remember I'm from New York. I've been living in New York all my life, So thank you for that, Marlo. But also, what I am afraid of is this, and she has to open her mindset. These corporations are now employing or buying robots to do those type of jobs. So soon her job is going to be not in existence. So I'm hoping that this young lady understands that, they're not going to give her any money. They're not going to reward her for all this hard work that she's putting in to this corporation. She's putting in all her good energy into them. For what? For $14 an hour? She needs to take that $48,000. And Tiara, I'm sorry, I know you say you love the fact that she didn't take and go, yeah, I got. Girl, she needs to take that and go, yeah, I got it, and set something up for herself and her children. She needs to figure all that talent. I'm looking at her. She's very talented, okay? She needs to figure out a way to flip that $48,000 into $1 million empire. If Master P can do it with $10,000 from his grandfather's life insurance policy, she can do it too.
And I think she needs to come to FlyNewbieMoney.com and get these resources that we got. We're going to, as you can see, this is hot and heavy. We are really into this conversation, but we really do need to take a break. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
I know you're busy, you got things to do, and you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you. We are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money, and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us, so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to FlyNubianMoneyClub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. we often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle. I'm coming. Okay, let me stop playing. I'll see you soon.
You really don't. Guys, we really do have an absolutely fabulous club that you can learn these skills we've all taught, all here has taught, and you are really missing out if you don't come and take advantage of all this priceless information that you need to up your game. So please make sure that you go and sign up today for flynubianmoneyclub.com because it is priceless. Now, we do have some stats, and you know I like my numbers. So let's look at a couple of stats, and then we'll continue on with this conversation. So the median hourly wage for fast food workers in the United States is $13.43. Over 50% of fast food workers are adults over 25. Not even teens. Y'all, that's crazy. 63% of fast food workers rely on some form of public assistance due to low wages.
That's craziness.
That's absolutely shocking. Unionized fast food locations see 20% less turnover and higher wages. Now, listen, I want to tap into that a little bit, ladies, because this current administration wants to make it very easy to not unionize. And you have places like Starbucks who, when their workers do try to unionize, they just close the whole store and move it down the street. So I'd like to know what your thoughts are on how much corporate responsibility has to take for this. We know about the franchises and that, but corporate, how are they getting away with these laws, and to what detriment is it for the working people? I'm going to start with you, Tiara.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you see loopholes. I mean, I think at this point, the system is set up for corporations. They're set up for corporations to take advantage of, you know, working class people, people that just can take advantage of them, and they can take advantage of them in terms of wages. And then, of course, when you have people lobbying for you in in our government and all of those things, like it's a lose for us. It's a lose for us, right? And I think it's unfortunate. I mean, I don't know how. I'm hoping that once our current administration is done and over, we can kind of like overturn some of these things that have been put in place. But I know that he's been very strategic about putting people in place that can perpetuate all of what his agendas. And so I hope that we can really start to, at some point, and I think it's our power, it's up for us to do, but really start to fight against corporations and really just the system. If we are the majority, they are, if everybody decided like, hey, we don't want to do this, they would have to flip what they're doing. But because we feel powerless, I think, because we have to wake up and like, it's like, I gotta go to work, I don't want to challenge the system, I don't want to be out here by myself, I need to work, right? They won't, right? People won't, because their livelihood is directly connected to that. So I just feel like if there was a shift in mindset and people could understand that we are the majority and we can rise up against those powers that be, I think it would make a difference.
Woo, preaching to the choir. Listen, if we all would just do that and stop bickering amongst ourselves, I'm pretty sure that we would have overturned this already. Okay. If January 6th can go in, I'm pretty sure we have made more power than they do. But I digress. Yolanda, how can workers push back without the fear of losing their jobs? Can't hear you.
So sorry, y'all. They have to go like 1960 style. You know what I'm saying? That 1960 style, go out there in them streets and just protest. I hate to say, I really don't think they should protest, right? I really think that, like T said, the power is in the people, right? I think people need to stop supporting these corporations. People need to stop going to Burger King. Okay. People need to stop buying these things. I think the people need to support the workers by not going into some of these places. Like, for instance, when I heard that Walmart was treating its employees like crap, I stopped going to Walmart. I'm like, I'm not going to go there because I don't like the way they treat their workers. Whereas I'm always in Costco because I hear that they treat their workers very, very well. Okay. So it's up to the consumer to change the law. The power is in the people. We need to step up and do something to help these people out. Don't don't go. Don't go to these places. Don't spend your money where these people are being mistreated. I know you like Burger King, but go somewhere else. Go make your burger at home. It's cheaper and it's more healthy.
I agree, but I don't think there's enough of us doing that. But like we said, if we all got on board, even
We
with
need to
just
get on
one,
board.
we
Yeah.
can make a difference. We are already making a difference. Y'all, Target is struggling. Target out here
Okay.
begging for us. We done
That's a
lost
good
all our
example,
black
Lala.
people. Hmm.
That's a
It's
good
the people.
example.
That's right. So
Target.
that's something we can do. But
Yeah.
Marlo, how do you feel about that? I mean, do you think that we as the customers are being complicit when we keep spending money at places that treat workers poorly?
Yeah, because it's not your problem, right? You just want that Whopper Junior. You don't care about what's going on the inside. But what's going on the inside spills out onto the outside. That person that's struggling to take care of their kids and their kids out here stealing and robbing. That person that's struggling to take care of their kids got a side hustle on your block selling a little meth, right? So when we think about these problems are in isolation, they're really not. But also, in this country, we are so in love with the millionaire, right? We are even more in love with the billionaire. Child, whenever there's a trillionaire, people gonna be lined up to get their backs blown out by him because we have a lust for people with money. It doesn't matter if they are good people. It doesn't matter if they are ethical people. We have been trained as a culture that if a person has acquired a number of dollars, if a person has built their business to a certain evaluation, then that person should be praised. That person should be loved. That person should be admired. We should all be striving to be that person. And as long as that's the attitude, we're going to be in this situation. And it's going to be Walmart, Target, Burger King, or some other corporation that is not treating workers right. The other problem is every business knows if I get rid of you, I got a folder full of resumes, honey. Right? So it makes workers complicit in their own demise. You scared to walk away because you know you expendable, but your bills ain't expendable. Your kids' school expenses ain't expendable. So people are going to take the madness. But I think Yolanda hit the nail on the head. We need to be more selective about our dollars. And I want to do a quick little for entrepreneurs. We push entrepreneurship on this show. I just saw a thing where there are several small businesses in Texas that are suing Tesla because they haven't been paid for the work on that big massive building that everybody made such a big uh murk about, this massive $1 billion Tesla factory. And now we know Elon Musk and Tesla ain't no different than Donald Trump and the Trump industries in not paying people for work that is performed. So while we push entrepreneurship, there are pitfalls for entrepreneurs too. I saw two business owners in Texas crying because they are not going to be able to maintain their business. They leverage, because this Tesla thing was so important to them, they leveraged their homes against it. And Tesla is only going to pay them for their contract labor. That is the agreement that they had to take after 3 years of fighting Tesla. So I never want us to feel like because I'm an entrepreneur getting the bag, I'm safe, because you too could get stiffed by one of these millionaires. I think that we need to look at this holistically as a people, and we need to put our dollars behind what we care about and what we support. And we should support our neighbors and our relatives and our friends and get out of this foolish ass rugged individualism that does not exist.
Not only that, Marlo, they have given Musk and Tesla in Tennessee. They didn't even vote on it, nothing. The big wigs, Brothers Johnsons, both our Brothers Johnsons reported on this, that they gave them a piece of land for Tesla. Not a dollar, not even a dollar government grant. They gave them. So all these, we reward the millionaires, yet we punish those who help to make them millionaires. But I want to, let's look at another video, y'all. Ooh, as we sitting here, my blood is boiling. My gut is boiling. This is why you need to send out your business so we can come to you. Let's check out this video and then we'll get back into the conversation.
It's time we stop telling young Black girls that they have to work twice as hard just to get half as much. While I understand the history and intention behind the statement, I think it's become a limiting belief that roots us in grind, struggle, and survival. Yes, there's still systems that we're navigating. Yes, there's still progress to be made, but telling young Black girls that their life has to be hard, they have to earn their worth through exhaustion, it's not just outdated, I think it's harmful. Kind of messaging plants seeds of burnout before it even begins. It teaches us to overperform, overgive, overlook our own needs because we think struggle is our fate or our destiny. I think we can start telling a different story. Start telling Black girls that they don't have to prove their worth, that they're already worthy, that they can move with ease instead of effort, that they can rest without guilt. Being soft doesn't make you weak. It means you're strong enough to choose peace.
I absolutely love that. But Tiara, do you think that we're seeing more of these stories because the conditions are getting worse, or are we just seeing these things because it's more of seeing it on social media now?
What do you mean? Rephrase that for me, because I want to make sure that I answer what you asked me.
So do you really think that the conditions are getting worse in this day and age, or do you think it's because we're seeing more of it because it's put on social media? Do you think there's a blend of that, or it's more of this happening than it used to be?
Yeah, I think that Black, and as it pertains to what I just heard in the video, right, where the narrative I think has always been. I mean, I watched my aunts work like workhorses. I watched my grandmother, my great grandmother, when I was younger. She used to take me to people's houses that she would clean, her clients' houses that she would clean in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I would watch, and sometimes I would help her clean. And I saw my grandmother was an older woman. She was in her 60s by then, working and muling. And we were there for hours. And then she still had to come home and do all the things for us. So, like me thinking about Nakia or Nakia, after you put 12 hours in and you're there all by yourself at Burger King, then you go home to 3 children that have all these needs, and you just put it on your back again and do it. So I think it's forever like, right, it's a thing that persists with Black women. Like we just, this is what we're taught. I learned that from my grandmother, so I try not to teach that to Lauren. That I will say that that's the difference. I don't teach that to my daughter. I do tell her that it's important to work hard, but I also tell her, listen, you can work smart. You ain't got to be out here doing all this. And truth be told, I feel like our kids are way smarter, right? They have the language. They like, nah, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do things I don't want to do. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna just figure out a way to make my life work for me. I'm like, go ahead, sis, go ahead and do it. So hopefully we can break that mindset and that narrative and that story that we bought, and we can graduate to something else. We can have a soft life. I want a soft life. I want to live soft. I say that all the time. I be like, I am so ready to live a soft life, and at some point I'm gonna work hard for another few years, and then I'm going to live soft. And soft in what and soft really just means what I want to do. Like, I will never accept anything else that Tiara doesn't want to do. But for now, it's cool to grind. I think there's a time and place for all of it. But to constantly do it until the day you die. We did a show not too long ago of a 90-year-old woman still grinding. No. Hell no.
No,
Hell
no,
no. No, no,
no.
no.
In the last few years, and everybody knows I talk about this a lot. I constantly was grinding, being a business owner, always real estate, always in these streets. A lot of times, my first time buyers couldn't buy in the actual Los Angeles proper. They had to go outside of LA to get houses that they could afford, which meant for me sometimes 3, 4 hours on the road,
Mm.
and then working, writing contracts, all that stuff. You know, I was working 24 hours at some point, and here I am now after I've lost my sisters. My sisters knew how to enjoy life, honey. Let me tell you something. After that, I was like, no, some things are going to have to give so that I can take care of my mental and enjoy the things that I have been put here for. I wasn't even listening to music at some point because I was so into what I was doing, and the music is my life. But when you're even taking that away from you, what kind of quality of life are you truly living?
Mm-hmm.
So Yolanda,
Hmm.
we heard Tiara say that she teaches this to her daughter. So, and you're an entrepreneur, and I know you work hard. You know, we all work hard here. We all have our own businesses. So, what would you tell this next generation on why this particular instance should be a lesson for them?
What would I tell them? Yeah, why this particular instance will be a lesson for them. Wow. Um, do I need to tell them, Lala? Because
Oh,
I don't know if I do, because only because this new generation, they have a lot of self-respect. They're just not doing anything that doesn't serve their higher good. And I love that about them. They're a little bit selfish, yeah.
I was
So
about to say there's
they need to find a little bit of balance. I know.
yeah.
But still, they will look at her as a fool. Okay. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
asking, do I need to tell them anything? I don't think so, because they will look at her as a fool. They'd be like, that lady working all them hours only for $14 an hour. You can't even give a kid $14 an hour right now, and they think that's a lot of money. They'd be looking at you like,
That's true.
I want 30, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I think that I don't have to really say anything. They see it for themselves. They see this as a clear example of what not to do, because this does not look cute. All right. If I was this Nakia girl, I will take that $43,000 and I will use it to go to school. Like, if she has a deep desire for education, here's her chance. Now she can do it. Her bills will be paid, and she can sit on her ass for a good few years and get her ass in school, and so that she can have a bigger and better life in the future. That 43,000, that 43,000 is her
For
key to the future.
$48,000
It
for a few
T.
years?
She's definitely going to
48,000?
Yes,
community college
where
with the
she lives.
$48,000.
If
Okay,
she's working
okay. You're
$14
right. You're
an
right.
hour,
You're right.
where she lives, she can go far. The more you
yeah,
know.
and I think that would be a great example for our kids. Just like I asked you, what can we tell this next generation? Well, how about we show them?
Right. We
Like, we
show
show
them,
them.
right. So
Because
for our
our
kids to look at
generation
this,
do see that our parents do this. I watched my mom scrub people's floors. I helped her scrub people's floors in the summers. And
yeah.
I knew darn well that that's not what I wanted for me. So I went in a different direction. And that's typically what happens in generations. They see your parents and then they flip it. You know, it is a cycle. But we do have another video, and I definitely want to look at this so that we can continue this conversation.
The expectations that are put on women, and then Black women in general. Black women are expected to be strong and to tolerate dang near anything. You know, we have been conditioned to believe that struggle love is the best kind of love that we can experience. You know, there's all this talk about a soft girl life and a soft girl era. Black women have historically not been able to experience that, and we've been indoctrinated to believe that we don't deserve that, right? We understand the side effects of slavery, how they, during slavery times, destroyed the Black home, emasculated the Black male in front of the Black woman, put her in a position where she became very responsible for a lot of the stuff that went in the home. You know what I'm saying? And so I think Black women, so first of all, we're dealing with a lot of this today because the residual effects of slavery are still impacting us, despite the fact that slavery ended a long time ago. So Black women are tired.
Yes.
And we're not just tired because of what we're going through. We are also tired because of what generations before us have gone through. This is something we have to understand, right? Is that just because I didn't live through the Jim Crow era, just because I didn't live through slavery does not mean I have not been affected by it, right? So I love science. I'm a science nerd. So let's go back to the research. Research shows that generational trauma can be passed down through DNA.
And it can.
It can be passed down through DNA. They see this with groups of oppressed people. They see it in the indigenous people. They have seen it in the Jewish people post the Holocaust. And we've definitely seen it in African Americans as it relates to slavery in this country. So we're not only dealing with the things that we are currently experiencing, we are also carrying the scars of our ancestors.
Yes.
So we are exhausted.
Yep.
Ooh, she
I
said
call it
that.
memory.
Listen,
Memory.
we all got something to say about that. Marlo, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you agree with her?
I think she was spot on, and for Black people that aren't working, you are not productive, you're not doing anything, you're not taking care of your own kids. There's a lot of guilt that people feel as well, on top of all of that generational trauma and heartbreak and everything. So I think she's exactly spot on, and it's something that we are going to have to grapple with internally, because we know that the outside forces don't care about our pain. They don't want to hear about it. They want us to shut up about it. They feel like, oh, it's 400 years. You ain't never been a slave. Shut up. Even though we should never forget the Holocaust, right? So,
Right.
And the Holocaust only existed through watching the extermination of the natives and watching Jim Crow in action. That is what empowered Hitler and gave him his blueprint for what he did. He said that himself in his book. So I think that we have to grapple with it as Black women. We have to acknowledge it. Everybody, the previous generation, my daughter's generations, everybody has to acknowledge it. And then we have to get on a path where we are trying to change that. Because again, they don't give a damn.
Thank you for saying that, Marlo, because I'm so sorry I'm cutting through.
No, you're not. Keep going.
Yeah.
Go.
Thank you for saying that, because it's called cellular memory. That's when your inner cells remember what your ancestors went through. And so then you start performing the same thing that you start performing the same thing, or the way they dealt with problems, you deal with problems the same exact way. And I just wanted to say the United States government gives the descendants of people from the Holocaust money still, because of cellular memory. They feel that their descendants are still suffering from the pain that their ancestors went through. So they give them a stipend every freaking year. Now, these people are already dead and gone. These people from the Holocaust, already dead and gone. But every year they get money from the United States government to help them still heal their descendants. Now, the Holocaust didn't happen on American soil. So why is the United States government giving money to these people? But yet here we are, Black people, we were enslaved on this land. We don't get a damn thing. This is why at this point we need to really take care of each other. I'm dead ass. We really need to take care of each other. Seriously. Because they're not going to do shit for us. Okay?
No. And Q Anonymous, he always tells us,
I was about to say, where's Anonymous?
Reparations.
Reparations.
What?
I was just about to say
reparations, but we don't have that yet, right? What we can do, we can still fight for it. But in the meantime, we need to do what we always used to do. Get together and really love each other and take care of each other. Straight up.
Baby, let me tell you something about my village. When I came up in little old Prospect, Kentucky. Okay, it's a little side of Louisville, Kentucky. I lived in the country. I get teased all the time. We were only 20 minutes from the city, but I was country. And my grandparents even lived deeper in the country. All right. They lived off the land. There was only one little corner store. They had an outhouse. Listen, I will never forget when there was a family that got sick. It was some kind of major flu that happened when I was a little girl, and everybody in that community came together. Every one of us would cook something for that family, whether it be a breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We would drop it off at the door because they were contagious. Okay. And then we'd come back and then somebody else would drop off another basket for them. This is the time that we need to go back to those roots. There is nothing wrong with helping others instead of worrying about what the Joneses got, helping the Jones uprise as you uplift yourself and your community too. I will never forget that. That is a life lesson for me. And to this day, I follow that roadmap because I watched my grandmother get up early, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning to make extra biscuits for neighbors in that community that really needed them. And my grandfather helping when somebody was out of work. Listen, this is not a hard thing. I don't understand why our communities don't understand it. But listen, I'm gonna get off my high horse with that because that just reminded me just how much not only that made me feel good to know that I was brought up in a community like that, and I still think that way, that I want to pass that down and have, because my son does the same thing for when he sees people in need. But let's check out a couple of
Hold up, because I didn't get to say my piece about the video.
oh, go
Y'all all went
girl.
down the line. Everybody said what they had to say. Actually, I'm gonna take it back to something that Elle said in the comments. He said something about us inheriting. We always talk about the negative aspects of slavery, basically inheriting that generational trauma. But something that we've also inherited is our genius, our creative brilliance. Just if you just black people so lit, we so amazing, and y'all know it. Like y'all see what we do in the world. Y'all see that we. I mean, there was a young black boy that created gasoline out of plastic last week. I said, just the things that we come up with, the things that come to our minds, the gifts that we get from God, and we share. I just think the issue is that we for whatever reason, it's that it's us giving that away. It's giving that to others instead of using those gifts for our community, and really just having the esteem to stand on business and say, like, I'm going to use my gifts to fill up my community. I'm going to use
Right.
my gifts to give back and build up our community. And I think that's just, I mean, or either that, or we just live in a country that just sees it and they just take it, and we be like, okay, well, it's been a jack move for so long. We just be like, we expect for our genius and our brilliance to be taken, right?
Yeah,
Like,
we give
you
it away
know,
at this point, though. We give it
we
away. We need to
because
do a show on that. We
it's
really
a
do.
narrative. It's a narrative that we brought, like, right. So I'm a story girl. Like, I love
Hmm.
story, and what I know is that story matters. Like, the
Yeah.
way when you hear representation, when you hear stories, that's how we buy things. That's how we change ourselves through story. And so,
Hmm.
if you're constantly being fed a certain story about yourself and your community, you're gonna believe that. You're gonna
Yeah.
take it. You're gonna digest it, and you're gonna perpetuate it. And so, anyway, that could just be my final thought. But, like, that is even though we're not in the final thoughts, but I'm just saying, like, that's
Yeah.
just something that we've taken, and it's become part of who we are,
We
unfortunately.
need to
But
protect
but
our
there's
intellectual
such a
property.
psychological science behind that. They tell you enough things over and over and over that you start believing it. Listen, there is a truth to behind that Jedi mind trick.
Yep.
And it works both ways. So what the world is telling us needs to be combated within our own households and in our own communities,
Hmm.
because our words are just as strong as what they want. Because, like I always say, they want every single thing of ours but the struggle.
That's
Now,
right.
we see that with what's going on, with how we're supporting countries who are committing genocide. Yes, I said it. I
Mm.
said it.
Yeah.
But
Say
we're
it.
rewarding them for that when yet they
Exactly.
want to say, but look at us, we're victims, and you're doing the same thing to someone else. At some point, we all have to stand up for what's right. Now, we
Thank
have a couple of more stats before we end this today. We've lost Marlo. I hope she comes back.
I
So
think
let's check.
do we have
Do
a
we have any
couple,
more
or do we have
stats?
one? We do. I don't know if we have a couple or we just have one. Let me see.
Well, I want to see the
Did you
one.
read this already?
No, the
Okay.
you.
federal minimum wage, Lord Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
hasn't increased since 2009. Still $7.25 an hour.
Yep.
Baby, who can live on that? More than half of fast food workers report being scheduled understaffed on a regular basis. Now, yes,
Wow.
she mentioned that. Y'all, when she did that follow-up video, did you not hear what she said? She said, I am here again tonight by myself. My cook will be leaving at 7, but I will be here until 11. So this is not just a one-time thing for her. And the fact that she's even asking the public, like, if you come up here and get your food, I want you to come on up here and get your food, but I need you to bear with me. Why is this her responsibility? For your final thoughts? Why is this her responsibility, Yolanda? Why do you think that she feels that this is her responsibility?
Because she's a Black woman. That's why. We need to stop feeling like we have to take care of everything. Okay. The first person we should be taking care of is ourselves.
That's
number
right.
one. And if that doesn't full over, then we have nothing else to give to anyone. All right. I wanted to tell you, Lala, I think this is also propaganda in a sense, because the corporations are trying to replace the working class people with robots. All right. And we've been talking, me and my friend, Dr. Samori, we've been talking about this for like 20 years now. All right. They're trying to replace the working class people with robots. And this is a prime example for them to go to the public and say, hey, this is why we need robots, because people don't want to work anymore, and a robot can replace everything and get you your food made to order. Everything will be perfect, and boom, 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 boom. And what does that do? That will displace American workers, okay? And then a lot of people are going to be unemployed. This is why I said it's important that Miss Tiara, whatever her name is,
Nakia, girl.
Nakia, I'm sorry. Oh, girl, you see me? I'm so sorry, Nakia. It's important that you, Nakia, do something with that money that is being offered to you for your future. Do something. I don't know, whatever your heart desire, girl. This is your chance. Go ahead and do it. All right. Because corporations going to replace you anyway with a robot. They're going to replace all of us with a robot. Even my business probably will be replaced with a robot in the future. Anyway, my name is Yolanda. I'm an insurance broker. I handle any type of insurance that you can imagine. If you need your pinky toes insured, I got you. Okay. Please reach out to me at yspivey@mwhitney.com. You can also reach me at my my website, mwhitney.com. Before I do, I'm not going to say the www because Tiara got on us last week and calling us old and stuff. But reach me at mwhitney.com. And also across all social media platforms at Yolanda Spivey. And if you need insurance, hit me up. I got you.
Yes, and you know what? I did almost make that mistake yesterday. Now I'm gonna have to take my age back down.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to traumatize y'all. I'm so sorry.
www.
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 That was so funny.
All right, Tiara, but listen, we've had some really good conversations around this, but I want to know what you will be doing from hearing this. What lesson are you taking from this that you're going to implement in your business? Because, baby girl,
I
know
running.
you run.
I be running.
And
I be
you
running.
work. You be texting me at 2:00 in the morning. Okay. So, what is your lesson? What is your lesson?
Well, first of all, I don't work for $14 an hour. Let me say that. You heard me. I don't work for $14 an hour. Thank God. And I work very hard, but I also have made a point to enjoy my life. A couple weeks ago, I was like, man, I need time to breathe. So I went home to New Orleans and was there, and I ate and hung out and enjoyed my friends. I enjoyed my family, and I just really just that's what I did. I still worked. Y'all was with me. I was like running the podcast from there, but I really enjoyed myself. When it was time to clock out, I don't have a problem. I've traveled more this year than I've probably traveled before. I feel like I don't just take every client. I'm very selective about the people that I work with. If I feel like this doesn't feel good, I really don't do it. And so that has been, I don't feel as desperate. I feel like I just attract what's meant for me and what's right. And then I also balance that out by doing things that I enjoy. As of yesterday, I just finished the last song on my album. So I officially finished with the album, which will be out on the 28th of August, actually, because we got to submit it to the Grammys. So my my lesson for me is, I know that sometimes we can get caught up in titles, and you can feel like, well, I am the manager, so these are the duties of the manager. So the manager got to work all night and all day, and take I'm right next to the boss, to the head boss, but you're not like, you can drop dead, and then it'll be over. They gonna replace you and go about life. Like, you are not. I heard somebody in the comments say, like, they don't love you. They don't love you. And so I'm just very mindful of that, Lala. If I'm being honest, I just, I'm like Yolanda said, I know my value. So it allows me to move a little different, but I still work hard. I mean, I enjoy work, so I love what I do.
But where can we find you?
Oh yeah, so I'm at Miss Black Hollywood across all platforms. I know I have not been online as much. So if you follow me, bear with me. I am a Facebooker, not really an Instagram girl, but I'm working on it. I'm about to launch this music page. I'm also going to start a music Patreon. So I would love your support on all of these endeavors. For the last 3 years, I have recorded pretty much almost everything that I've done, and it's been a journey. So I can't wait to share that all with you all. I love you all, and thank you for your support.
I am so excited for you. I was tearing up over here when you were saying that you completed everything. I mean, I know how much hard work, how much
Man.
you pour your soul into these projects. And so I want to say to
Super
you that
proud.
I'm so proud of you
Super proud, sis.
because you do so much and I admire you so much, sis. I
Oh,
do.
Assignment
So
interrupted.
y'all be
let's
ready.
not
Be
get too
ready.
mushy, y'all. Like,
Be
where's
ready.
anonymous?
Y'all. I'm a
Someone
mush,
get
mush, mush
melodramatic on
on.
here.
I'm a mush,
Yeah,
mush, mush
mushy, mushy,
on.
mushy, mushy like mashed
I
potatoes,
love y'all.
boo.
I
Whatever.
appreciate that. I appreciate it. Lala, what's your
I
last
love it.
thoughts?
I love it. And
What's your
here's my
last?
thing. I have learned to appreciate life a whole lot more when I have learned to balance. If I feel tired, I will take a rest. If I want to be silly and return to childhood, guess what I've started doing, y'all? I've started blowing bubbles. And I get bubbles every day. And when I'm tired and need to take a break, I will open my window and blow those bubbles down my street. Not only does it give me joy, it gives other people joy too. There's a lot of elderly people that walk up and down my street. When they see the bubbles, you should see their eyes light up, as well as the children. Balance is key. Nobody's going to care for you more than you care for yourself. These corporations, they thank you for your service, but they don't want to pay you or give you the respect that you're doing to help line their pockets. So understand that you and only you can uplift yourself and give you the break that you need. Even when life is heavy, you can't help other people if you cannot take care of yourself. And with that being said, I actually have a class coming up on the 16th. And if you are interested in buying house and you don't even know where to start, because you know what? If you don't know, it's going to be a bumpy ride if you don't know what to expect. But if you come to my class, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to teach you everything from I'm thinking to I'm handing you keys. And we actually have a lender that will come and talk to you as well. So you can sign up for that class at laurakey.net. I will now be having those every month. And the first one will be the 16th. It is a 3-hour course. So go to my website, sign up, and let's start getting you lined up to own a piece of your own land. And hey, you might even have an extra room to start that business. Just saying. Listen, it's Blackout Friday, y'all. Y'all know what to do. We don't put our money where it's not appreciated. Now, I do that every single day, but sometimes that may not be possible for you. Maybe you live in a small community where you don't have a choice but a Walmart or a Target. But just one day will totally make a big difference in their pockets. So we don't shop where our money is not appreciated. And we also want to, in talks to appreciation, we want to appreciate you for being here. We've had so many people have such wonderful conversations. Deborah, Black Lexicon, Anonymous, Mike, Shalom. We have C. White, Tamisha. We have so many, we have so many people that come and support us every day, and we wouldn't have a show without you. So, hey, we love you.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you for being here every single day. A lot of y'all here are every single day. That's dedication, and we see you. So this isn't just about a Burger King problem, it's an American problem. Nakia's story shines a light on the reality that too many workers are carrying the weight of an entire company on their backs for wages that barely cover their basics. We can't keep ignoring the people who keep the food on our table, our stores open, and our economy running. They deserve more than just applause. They deserve more protection, fair pay, and much more respect that they're getting. So thank you for joining us here on Fly Nubian Money. Don't forget, y'all, you can text the word Queens, Queens, to 87948 to get alerts and to catch the replays on Spotify. Woo! So if you've missed anything, go to Spotify and then let people know that we're there too. Take us on your walk, take us on your job. But for today, I want to wish you so many blessings that you cannot hold them all. We will see you on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a beautiful weekend. Peace out. Bye.
Bye, y'all.